Speaker, the Prime Minister promised that he would spend less, yet his deficit spending is 100% more than even Justin Trudeau. And what is the real human consequence of that? Food price inflation is rising 70% faster than the Bank of Canada's target. And today, the CEO of the major food bank network in Toronto says that there has been a 400% increase in food bank use there. Does the Prime Minister understand that his empty promises lead to empty stomachs?
It's reassuring to hear the Leader of the Opposition that listened to the Prime Minister during the summer. I'm glad to see that he retained that we're going to spend less so we can invest more, Mr. Speaker, and investing more in Canadians. Like, for example, reducing the taxes for 22 million Canadians, Mr. Speaker. Like making sure that people who want a first-time home, buy a first-time home, will pay less in GST, Mr. Speaker. Making sure that we eliminate the consumer carbon tax, Mr. Speaker. I think the leader should celebrate that this government is there for families across Canada to build a stronger and more...
He wants us to celebrate his failures, including failures that are leading to real human suffering. Let me quote the CEO of Daily Bread Food Bank, Neil Hetherington. So giving you some context, previously before the pandemic, we were at 600,000 for the year visits to the food bank. And so it took 38 years to get 1 million visits per year, and then only 1 year to get 2 million visits, another year to get 3 million. Now we are at 4 million visits. Food bank lineups are growing and growing at an accelerating rate under this Prime Minister. Does he realize the very real human consequences of his broken Liberal promises?
I'm here to announce some good news. Last night, Canada and British Columbia approved the new Silesum LNG export terminal in northern British Columbia. It's with the Niska Nation. It will be the second largest private sector investment in the history of this country. The second largest in the history of this country. It will employ thousands of Canadians. We would love the Conservatives to help us build Canada.
Speaker, the question was not about re-announcing a previously approved project. It was about the cost of food. And frankly, it is insulting. We have asked 10 questions about the cost of food in the last 2 days, and not a single Liberal minister will get up and answer it. Maybe that's because the inflation rate on food is 70% above the target. Maybe it's because there are now 4 times as many visits to Toronto food banks as there were 3.5 years ago. Maybe it's because they broke their promise to stabilize food prices. Maybe it's because the Prime Minister promised that he could be judged on the price of food. Speaking of which, what's the verdict?
Well, I know we're all in this House concerned about the price of food, and we're also concerned about our farmers. The #1 cost of living in Canada is related to housing, Mr. Speaker, and as I mentioned yesterday, people are concerned about housing prices. This government is taking action to make housing more affordable. With Build Canada Homes, with tax cuts, with the first-time home buyers tax cuts, we're making a difference for people in their pocketbooks.
Mr. Speaker, the question was about food prices. Right. Yeah. And he stood up to announce that he's going to be feeding some of his friends who are going to populate this latest $13 billion bureaucracy, a bureaucracy that will build no homes and that will only reward Liberal insiders who, like him, have a record of actually doubling housing costs. Right. But back to food, the stuff that needs to go on people's dinner table. We have a record number of people at food banks after the Prime Minister promised to make food more affordable. Doesn't he realize that his promises have real costs for Canadians?
It's a little rich coming from the guy who voted against the National School Food Program, Mr. Speaker. But I would like to say that Food Banks Canada does exceptional work, and they also make good recommendations for government. 1, they suggest we build up Canada's social safety net. 2, they say we should solve the affordable housing crisis, and we should help lower-income workers make ends meet. Mr. Speaker, all of those things are things that Conservative leader votes against time and time out in this House. Here, here.